treasure hunting? Yes, treasure hunting. That's the game I loved the most as a child. The moment I say that, Hibiki looks at me as if she realized something. She looks as if she's trying to remember if I ever showed those signs. Until today, I never intended on talking about my childhood from before the accident. We were twins, so for birthdays and Christmas, there were always 2 presents. I had kept this memory locked up, but I'm able to talk about my childhood with Michiko this calmly. I don't feel like there's anything strange. I'm only remembering the fun memories and not the painful ones. My mother and father, Nagi and Fukumai would probably be fine, but Reina might still believe in him. My mother, father, and Santa Claus always hid the presents somewhere. It wasn't limited to inside the house. It could be in the yard, or sometimes at our neighbor's house. The hints were always difficult, but finding the answer excited us because it felt like turning numerous keys. The act of finding is fun, and when we did find it, it made us happy. The presents we obtained were all irreplaceable, even if it wasn't the present we wanted. We weren't just given it. It made us think we obtained it ourselves. The sense of accomplishment seemed wonderful when we were that young. A small nod of agreements. Hibiki, Paulette, Nagi, Fukumai, and even Makarani are nodding. That's why I'm thinking of a way to revive the abandoned coal mine and turn it into something fun. The fun of treasure hunting? Yes. A space that even Paulette can enjoy, so that she can smile. I want to materialize that, to turn it into something that's a lot of fun. We'll have them explore the Black Diamond mineral vein, and there will be hints and items scattered about. Sounds like fun! As if she couldn't express her excitement with just her voice, Nagi jumps up from her seat. I like the sound of a black diamond. You're a poet, Nissan. Those aren't my words. During the height of the coal industry, everyone called coal black diamonds. Oh, I knew that was too good to have come out of you. Hey now! As if she thought standing was a waste, Nagi sits back down. But it doesn't just sound good. I really think that's a great idea. I don't think she was trying to make up for Nagi's remark. Fukumai's cheeks are also faintly red. If it's treasure hunting, I think that a dark and damp place actually makes it better. Isn't finding the right balance a bit hard? Yes, for safety and the atmosphere. I think the limestone caves would be a good spot for it. There are a lot of caves with that kind of rock around Kyushu for tourists. I see. That's a good idea. I've been in those before. You wear a helmet with a headlight on it? Oh, I would try that. Maybe. Naturally, we would require people to wear those kinds of things. As for the slippery ground, how about rental shoes? Reina raises her hand. How about letting the guests ride the trolley? Ah, that's good. If they moved around the mine in trolleys, we could prevent people from slipping and from getting lost. So if they'd be on trolleys, then they wouldn't have to hunt for the mineral caves themselves. They'd be taken to them automatically. Yes, I suppose so. In that case, the mystery-solving portion of Treasure Hunt would have to be done prior to the trolley bit. Miners keep secrets about the hidden mine for the best quality bituminous coal. Yes. I have no idea what this bituminous coal is, but the words Reina says sounds exciting. If we can ride that excitement, I'm sure the image of what to do will come to mind. I see. So, we could set up the main mine path as the hidden path and then turn it into a place of mystery solving and tracking down hints. That thought comes to me as I speak. Seeing me on a roll, Paulette looks hard at me. The abandoned dormitories. The abandoned dormitories. Wow, looking for treasure there would be a blast. But it's too big. There are broken buildings too. Yes. It's true that if a large-scale town of dormitories are all explorable, it couldn't be done in a day. Well, what we could do is take one of the buildings that's already in good shape and limit it to one floor or one room. Oh, then that would reduce the trouble and manpower needed. Are we basically just making kind of an escape room? Is that what we're doing here? The trouble of managing it. Hachoku nods to herself, then puts her hand to her ears as if holding a phone receiver. How about using a walkie-talkie? It may be useful for both atmosphere and preventing people from getting lost. Walkie-talkies. That's a good idea. Using those is rather rare these days, and it's also utilitarian. Oh, you're right. That area wouldn't get any cell phone reception. I've never seen walkie-talkies before. I have the boatman for the Ibi River downstream use some. Lucky. It doesn't receive a reception. If it doesn't receive a reception there, I'm sure that'd give it more of an exploration feel. In fact, Nagi and Fukumai are already excited just by talking about the walkie-talkies. This is good. Really good. We're finding a rhythm here. It's fun just finding fun words to describe this. However... Oh, I'm curious as to why Hibiki's so quiet, so I turn to her, to which she waves her hand at me in protest. Nini, no, that's not a Nissan. She clears her throat once. I was just thinking, of something else. What's that? It's not completely unrelated. This is, A silence as she tries to find the right words. Vicky wets her lips and then sighs. In other words, you want to turn the abandoned Jutsusen coal mine into like a treasure hunting theme park? Theme park? Great! When you call it a theme park, I'm gonna go even more. A theme park? That's good. I like that name better. So well... Early face, Hibiki's words now come out smoother than before. I was thinking about how we could include the word treasure. Treasure? It's exactly what it sounds like, Nagi-chan. That's nice, it rhymes with leisure too. Treasure and leisure. I guess treasure, leisure. Okay. It's simple, but the double meaning is very good. In order to give meaning to those words, though, we'll need something before treasure. Is it possible to say it in a way that makes it sound like part of the mines? The phrase coal mine would be good, because that's what it exactly is. I like it. Ohatiyo, coal mine treasure. No, that's too long. How about Ohatiyo mine treasure? Like that, Ohatiyo mine treasure. I agree, it has the image of playing at the mines. Then let's go with that. Ohatiyo mine treasure. Okay. As a theme park, we need a mascot to go with it. Vicky opens her sketchbook. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy at her being involved and all. I just wasn't expecting her to be this into it. You're going to help us that much? Of course I will. How many times do I have to... Hibiki starts scratching her head with the other end of her pencil. reason that I support the aircraft factory is because there's no other way to restore OO2 to its former glory. Despite her fidgeting, I sense no hesitation or bashfulness in her voice. But I feel like this plan just might work. That's why I'm helping you, Nissan. I see. That's reassuring. It also makes me very happy. You know what? I realize when I say it out loud, Hibiki lightly touches her lips with her finger. Can I talk about this? OO2 Mind Treasure plan to Kisaki-senpai? To Hoshiro Kisaki? Of course! When Nagi is about to say something, Fugai grabs her and covers her mouth. My way of thinking is really influenced by Kisaki-senpai. That's why... If she believes that this plan can work, you're saying Hoshiro Kisaki isn't fixated on the factory idea either? I don't know about her evaluation of the plan itself, but if it's good, I think that's possible. As for me, I think that would be great. But the one who will make the decision is Paulette, since she's the mayor and president. What do you think, Paulette? I think it would be wonderful. I'd like to meet her directly, too. I did not expect that answer, so I ask again. With Kisaki? Pat nods and then turns to Hibiki. Hibiki also looks a little confused. If Osho-san likes the idea, the proposal can pass the assembly. Oh! I see. You're right about that. The abandoned Jutsusen coal mine is owned by the municipality. Unless we gain approval from the assembly, all this talk is just armchair theory. That is why Paulette is always looking at things from a wider perspective. You heard her, Hibiki. If possible, can you ask Kisaki? Hibiki nods deeply to my question. Not at me, though, at Paulette. Understand. I'll give her a call right away. Interesting. Okay. I entirely forget what voice I was doing for Kisaki. Never. Thank you very much for your time today. Amidst your busy schedule. The Kumamoto Bank Branch Manager's office. Inside is Kisaki by herself. Her secretary, Urakami-san, isn't here today. I'd like to thank you for coming. I'd always wanted to speak with you. It's an honor. This is a conversation between Paulette as the mayor and Kisaki as the branch manager. In that case, I will have to act as the part as the mayor's... I will need to act the part as the mayor's secretary. Please have a seat. Thank you. Whoops. The moment I make that decision, I'm already doubting myself. I don't know what the timing is for when a secretary should sit down. So Tetsu, what are you standing there for? A sudden shift to friendly words. I can't tell Kisaki's intentions. But if that's the distance she wants to set, the more polite I am, the more it may seem superficial. Well, I was wondering if it's okay for me to sit. Of course you can. I'm not so rude that I would make my friend's brother stay standing. Friend's brother. This is a sign. Or perhaps a hint? What did Hibiki say when she asked for this meeting? She said Nissan and Paulette-san wanted to talk to you, Kisaki-senpai. I see. I understand now about why Urakami-san isn't here as well. Then this is a personal meeting without our titles. That's my intention. Kisaki smiles suggestively. I'm sure that would be more convenient for all of us here. Thank you for your consideration. Paulette's attitude doesn't change, but that's her acting naturally. Interesting. Okay. After hearing the agreement from Paulette, there's no need to be reserved. I sit myself down on a chair to calm down. Did you get the gist of it from Hibiki? The talk about this Otio mine treasure is an interesting proposal, but it's only on paper. On paper? She's holding back, but she sounds dissatisfied. Kisaki doesn't seem to mind one bit. Yes, as of right now, I think it's just all talk. The hurdles of making it a reality are too great. Can you elaborate? Well, for example, Kisaki stands up from her seat and makes some coffee with her coffee maker. She told us to help herself, so Paulette makes 2 cups and hands me one. What about the position problem? Position. Paulette and I sit together, across from Mrs. Kisaki. Not the locational position. I'm talking about footing and attitudes. She can see everything we're thinking, but we don't know what she sees. Then what should we do? What do you mean by that? Before I consider asking, Paulette's already started. Kisaki grins in satisfaction to that question. For example, Hinai Paulette, you think highly of Mikito Sotetsu, enough to want to hire him as your secretary. Yes. An instant answer without a speck of bashfulness. To be quite honest, that makes me happy. Let's say that Mikito Sotetsu-kun, he is addicted to Kuma Shochu and can't work as effectively and efficiently as he once could. That's not... It's just an example, and besides, can you really say that it's impossible? No one knows about the future. That's why opponents can't protest Kisaki's theory. A reduction in ability causes mistakes in work. You'll start getting complaints from all sides. Paulette's cheeks puff up ever so slightly. Seeing that she is expressing discontentment also makes me happy. Now then, Paulette-san, would you dismiss Mikito Sotetsu-kun even in that case? I will not fire him. Even if there is that small chance he turns like that, Sotetsu-kun would definitely recover from it. Then let me ask you another question. Kisaki twirls a pen in her hand. There is an alcoholic among my subordinates that causes trouble for everyone. What would you say if I didn't make him take responsibility? Oh. I understand what she means. Paulette and I are the same. We both would think it would be irresponsible in Kisaki's current example. That's what I meant by positioning. Kisaki's voice remains calm. Rather, it even feels somewhat sad. People are always fixated on the position they take. They do everything to try to justify their past decisions. But when looked at objectively, they've made bad choices. Yes. They try to justify their past decisions, and by doing that, they just make more bad decisions. Paulette's brow furrows. How many people know it you that took the position of Jutsusen coal mine? The idea finally connects when she lets out that statement. I had no idea where Kisaki was going with that example until then. I see, so to those people, the abandoned coal mines are their scars that they want left alone. Unless it can be proven that their past decisions were the wrong ones, we will most likely try to forget the past and put a lid on it. A redevelopment would open up that lid and force them to look at it. That surely is a delicate and difficult issue. There are other problems too, many that are much more serious. She purposely interrupts me and looks as if it's a test. I'm asking Paulette-san, Sotetsu, if you don't mind, please be quiet. You heard her. An annoyed nod from Paulette, I can see it on her face. Could it be that her annoyance from earlier is lingering. But if that is Pod's wish, I don't intend on going against it. I make a cross with my fingers and put it over my mouth. Kisaki nods, satisfied, and then resumes talking. The serious issue is also a very simple one. In other words, funding. Don't you agree, Pilot-san? Having the Ohio Railway Company as the commissioning entity presents several problems. Pilot's eyes turn straight forward right at Kisaki. The problem is with my being the mayor and the president, I can't use the municipal property for my business profits. Yes, that would be a clear conflict of interests. But if I am paying a rental fee to the municipality, I would have to gather my own funding. That's difficult. You've already issued railway bonds. Then why not use those railway bonds? After thinking that, I realized my own ignorance. No, that's right. The railway bonds are debts. Pod's voice seems weak. It's a fact she doesn't want to admit, but she forces herself to say it anyway. As we were able to gain unanimous support for the business proposal, taking it to the assembly itself could be a double-edged sword. Yes, and if a selling craze occurs, you wouldn't be able to run things with just the cash on hand from Ohio Railway. Selling craze? Whoops, I spoke without knowing. But it appears that my question is valid. Kisaki answers without batting an eye. Railway bonds have the option to be cancelled even before maturity. Cancelling before maturity has a penalty of 25% its value. That's why there normally wouldn't be any cancellations under normal circumstances, but... Words falling but aren't coming. After a few more moments, Kisaki's voice fills in the silence. If the company goes bankrupt, the bonds are worthless. If worries start to rise, they just might decide to do so because it's better than nothing. Sudden sigh. Pod nods to Kisaki and then speaks in a light-hearted manner. If there were a lot of cancellations, we wouldn't have enough cash. We've already used a lot for the repairs. I see. So in reality, it did cause a bankruptcy. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. This isn't something that we can be carefree about. There's definitely some assemblymen who have taken the position of the Justice and Coal Mine in the past and are now aircraft factory supporters. And what would happen if we carelessly brought this proposal to the assembly? The factory supporters could purposely spread rumors about some business worries. If that were to happen, never mind the mine treasure plan, Ohio Railway itself might go under. See, those are some big hurdles to overcome. On top of that, if you trip on any of those hurdles, the effects could be fatal for you. Kisaki's eyes look at me coldly, as if saying, don't interrupt anymore. This time she demands that I follow through on that promise. You understand, right? If that were to happen, just think about how much trouble it could cause for people. Something odd is going on with Pod. She's gone pale and her body is shaking. Do you still want to go through with this plan? It's easy. The answer should come naturally, but Pod doesn't answer right away. That instant, it all connects. I finally understand. So this is it. Pod must have fallen into this state when she was being heckled at the assembly. When I felt that, I searched through my memories to understand. During the hearing, Miyamoto-san seemed so surprised. I finally understand. No, that's not entirely true. I think I was able to understand because it's me. Pod has some deep emotional scars somewhere. and that's being brought out right now. From inside out, little by little, it tries to chip away at her logic in an attempt at forcing her to surrender. But Paulette hasn't given up. Her eyes are pleading to me. In that case, grip. As promised, I won't say anything. In exchange, I hold her hand. I'm right here. I'll support you. I tried to tell her that with my eyes.
Regarding this issue, I will reconsider once more.
I see. That's probably for the best. A smile. A very warm smile doesn't seem to be from the business end. Izaki then holds out her right hand to Paulette.
I think this was a good discussion. Thank you very much. Oh, not at all. And thank you too, Maitetsu.
Me? I didn't do anything.
I don't know about that.
Izaki stands up while saying that. She looks at Paulette and then at me.
You taught me that it's not a bad idea to have hope in you. Not just you, but in both of you.
A long exhale, and her hand slowly stretches out to the teacup.
Wow, that's rare. You never drink tea without milk and sugar?
I'm sure there are times when she feels like it. She's human.
So different from real lords.
Reina drinks from her usual flask. Considering what she says, she must be having the same diesel fuel from the same maker.
No, we're not that different. Humans and railroads both just have those that shake on their tracks and those that don't. Strong ones and weaker ones. Is that how it is?
Ren looks up at me for some reason. Paulette won't answer. Paulette seems to be waiting for my response too. That's true, but it's not static. The weak can become strong and vice versa. I glance at Paulette and then nod. Reina seems convinced.
Reina's still weak, so I can't feel that way yet. I don't think that's true. You just haven't known weakness yet, but you don't need to know that at all.
Eek! A happy scream. Reina is picked up by Paulette and sat on her lap.
By the way, Maitetsu-kun.
Yes? With Reina on her lap, as usual, Paulette seems to have stabilized. Her voice and expression are much more relaxed. There are plenty of things to do, and many of them are complex. However, we also obtained some hints.
I suppose.
She slowly puts words together.
If Hosho-san were so inclined, she could have crushed the plan in this company.
Yes. But Kisaki didn't do that. She even said that she had hopes for us. In other words, this still has a chance. Then what we must do now is think of the next step.
Yes, I guess nothing is set in motion yet after all.
True. But we did receive a warning. If we moved carelessly, we can be attacked and crushed. This is that sort of matter. We should spend looking for collaborators and opinions for the time being.
I agree. We have to prepare and build a foundation before strange rumors get spread.
In order to reduce the number of risks, we'll have to clarify the source of funds.
I think so too. We'll have to build an estimate of how much will be required.
Yes, but still, to put together an estimate, we need a business plan. We can narrow down the scope of the facilities we have to restore until we have a plan. Let's think in terms of the minimum for now. What facilities will be required for this plan?
In that case, we'll have to re-investigate the inside of the dormitories.
Yes, investigation. Raina suddenly raises her voice, probably because she's used to it. Pod remains calm.
What happened to the result of the mining railway investigation?
We've been focusing so much on the mine treasure that we've forgotten to report on that. Granted, there really isn't anything of note to report regarding that issue.
Raina.
Yes? While spreading out the old map from Taito-san's room, Pod starts explaining to Raina. Raina nods numerous times and confirms the points while asking detailed questions along the way.
There's a sedimentary pond here. The buildings around it must be the tipple.
Tipple?
It's a place that selects which coal to transport.
Oh, I see. As expected from a former mining railway. Raina gleans what we thought was information not worth reporting into something more meaningful, little by little.
The final stop is probably the station where the miners unloaded the coal they dug.
She nods to herself. Her short fingers point at a single spot on the map.
There are probably branch lines that run along here too.
Branch lines?
Huh? No way. Why? Because this is the mark for a power plant.
That's right. There were many power generating facilities around that mine. And because they don't have any power lines going from the city to the Jutsusen coal mine.
A branching line to the power station? And the dormitories are here, right?
Her short fingers point accurately at the right location. On the map, there's the power station and dormitories. It has at least a straight line distance of 5 kilometers.
You can't walk over the mountain path all the way. That's why I knew there have to be branching lines. Yes. They'll have to transport people and materials. And, looking back, there were no railway materials anywhere.
I think that they dismantled them and hauled them away, but if they did that, they would leave behind the tracks or factory equipment. Then where, for example, along the branching lines?
Let's go there, Satetsu-kun.
Yes. The usual Pod is coming back. In her eyes is a strong glint. You did it, Raina. I pat her head, and she closes her eyes in comfort.
Raina's glad to help.
If possible, I'd like for you to continue to help us. Pod nods in agreement. I want to bring Raina with us to the reinvestigation. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Bring on an expert? Why the heck not? I wonder if this plan will end up going anywhere.